Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Annabelle Creation. So the prequel to the really crappy movie Annabelle, but also a spin-off of the amazing horror films The Conjuring and Conjuring 2. So this takes place in the Conjuring-Universe and kind of sets up where this doll Annabelle came from. This creepy as hell doll. Because that doll is so damn creepy and scary, and this movie is terrifying. And it had me almost the whole entire way through. Now, this was directed by David F. Sandberg, and he directed Lights Out from last year. I didn't get to see that, but I've heard amazing things about it and would really like to see it at some point. It's on my Netflix DVD queue, so hopefully that'll be coming soon. And in terms of what he does with this film, he elevates this film a lot with the direction that he takes and the building of suspense and everything that goes into this. Now, before I preface the usual stuff that I talk about, the sound and the production design in this are real standouts, so I wanted to start with those first. The sound is done so well to make these creepy moments where you didn't need to see anything and you just hear these noises off frame, and it's just building and building and creepy, and it's just like, I can't take this. And there's a lot of moments I have my hand over my face, like, I can't take this. And the production design, because everything in this movie, how it looks and how it's designed, is super creepy. And the visual of it makes everything else so much creepier and more terrifying. The dolls, there's a scarecrow, everything is so creepy and so well designed that it really gives this film something a little extra than just a bunch of scares. And what Sandberg does in his direction is he takes this film, which, to be perfectly honest, is pretty generic, it's pretty straightforward, usual horror kind of stuff, and he unfolds it in such a way that you're building and building and building tension. And usually a lot of horror films do this, but the way that Sandberg did it was with such care that it works so well. And the pacing, it balances those quieter character moments with the scares in such a fluid way that it builds and builds smoothly and keeps you engaged throughout the hour and 47 minutes that this film runs at. And that is something that really stood out to me. The tone of this, there's just an atmospheric creepiness to everything in this film, and that is super important to building the suspense throughout, because you're on edge already, you know something's up, and how it keeps building up to that point is very, very effective. And when you're taking a look at this film is just terrifying. The suspense, the tension, those scenes are so well done. And I'll talk more about this with the cinematography, but the way everything's shot, everything's set up, how they build to things, you see everything in view. It doesn't use deep focus because there's a lot of things in the background that are unfocused, but it uses that background stuff in such a great way to build up to tension. And the camera work is fantastic, and everything is just done in such a masterfully crafted way. And then you get the cinematographer, Maxime Alexandre, and the camera work's fantastic. How all this camera work goes around and how they frame everything. And there's some really cool shots. There's some really good transitions between scenes, and there's just a couple of shots that were really breathtaking. And one of them was an interesting callback to The Conjuring, where they talked about what an upside down cross means. And there's a scene where they use a turning camera to let us know stuff's about to go down, as we have this straight on shot of a cross, and then it slowly turns the camera until it flips over, and it's like, we know things are about to happen. And there were a couple of times where the handheld camera shots were a bit shaky and bad, but overall it was very, very, very well done. Now, for the writing, Gary Doberman, it's a suspenseful story, but it's not super unique. And there's one really, really heavy expose scene. Luckily, it wasn't just spewing stuff and just talking about it. They did show scenes where we actually got to feel what was going on, and the acting in it let us feel that. But overall, the story isn't super interesting, and the characters, you do get some fleshed out characters. A lot of the young girls are just thrown in there, but you do get some moments with the two main girls where you really feel for them and their relationships and what they're going through. And the husband and wife who own this house that they're staying in, and you get to know what they've been through, and they have interesting things about them, but then a lot of people make dumb decisions. And it spirals into dumb horror movie. I'm a dumb horror movie character. Let me just keep doing crap that I shouldn't be doing because I'm dumb. But and that brings down the movie quite a bit for me. And in terms of the third act, things got a little unbelievable for me, and not in the sense that it's like, yeah, there's a bunch of ghosts and demons and stuff. Yeah, it's unbelievable. As in, it breaks the expectations put up in the film, where it's like they wouldn't have gotten away from that, and that kind of took me out of the movie. It's like, what are these little girls going to do against like this all-powerful demon that's set up this way? And it feels more like, oh, it's just toying with them. Then it's like, why do I care so much? That kind of goes a little aside in the third act. The dialogue, there's some genuine dialogue moments between characters that I enjoyed, and there are some themes of trying to find home and finding somewhere to belong, and that's what made these girls so susceptible to this stuff that was going on, and wanting to make those connections with people, because these are orphans. They don't have a family, and they're pulled in by this demon. And with the music, Benjamin Wallfish does a great job of making sensitive, beautiful orchestral moments for the more human moments where you're trying to really feel for these characters. But then when stuff goes down, it's absolutely terrifying, and the strings are terrifying, and that really helped elevate the film. From an acting perspective, we have Lulu Wilson and Talitha Bateman are these two young girls, and they do a fantastic job. Lulu Wilson was also in Ouija Origins of Evil, and she's a good young actress. And the two of them really elevate this, and you really feel the chemistry between those two. Stephanie Sigman, I don't know if this is going to be how everyone feels. She plays the nun. I didn't like her. I didn't really think she did a good job, and she felt a little stiff and stifled a lot in this film, and it's like, didn't feel very natural. And then Miranda Otto does a nice job in her moments in this film as a wife, and Anthony LaPaglia does a really good job of his acting and selling what he's supposed to be doing, but he has some problems keeping his accent, because he's supposed to be American, and you could hear it kind of shake a bit between things. But my overall thoughts, does this have an it factor? This film's it factor is this is absolutely terrifying. It is a terrifying film, and if you just want to get some scares, you'll have that. And the camera work is amazing. This is such a well-crafted film from a directing and cinematography perspective. It's lacking in the writing and the characters, and that takes away from the film. And that's why I'm going to have to give Annabelle Creation a B minus.